What if I told you that while the world was distracted by Dubai's glittering towers and luxury lifestyle, the UAE quietly launched an $82 billion industrial revolution that could completely reshape global manufacturing forever? And here's the shocking part. 99% of people, including seasoned investors, have no idea this is happening right under their noses. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the UAE's best-kept secret that's about to disrupt everything you think you know about where products are made and who controls global supply chains. We're talking about a transformation so massive that it makes China's manufacturing boom look like a warm-up act. Welcome back to Dubai Curious, where we uncover the extraordinary stories behind the Emirates that mainstream media completely misses. I'm here to blow your mind with stories that reshape how you see this region. And if you're watching this, you're probably like most people who think Dubai is just about luxury shopping, record-breaking architecture, and oil money flowing like water. But here's what absolutely blows my mind. While everyone was obsessing over the Burj Khalifa, reaching for the clouds, and Palm Jumeirah reshaping coastlines, the UAE leadership was quietly orchestrating what might be the most ambitious industrial transformation in modern history. We're talking about Operation 300BN, a master plan so comprehensive and far-reaching it makes China's Belt and Road Initiative look like a local construction project. Today, you're going to discover how the UAE is positioning itself to become the world's next manufacturing superpower, why this changes everything for global business and supply chains, and most importantly, why opportunities worth literally billions of dollars are still wide open for those smart enough to pay attention. By the end of this video, you'll understand why major corporations, governments, and investors are quietly repositioning themselves around this industrial revolution that's happening in plain sight. Let me take you back to March 22nd, 2021. While the entire world was still reeling from COVID-19, economies crashing, supply chains breaking down, and governments scrambling to figure out their next move, something absolutely extraordinary happened at Qasr Al Watan in Abu Dhabi. Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, now the president of the UAE, and Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the vice president and prime minister, didn't just announce another tourism campaign or flashy real estate project. They launched Make It in the Emirates, a campaign that would fundamentally alter the UAE's economic DNA from a service-based, trade-focused economy to an industrial manufacturing powerhouse. Here's what most people completely don't understand. This wasn't some reactive panic move because of the pandemic. This was a calculated chess move that had been planned for decades. The UAE leadership, with their characteristic forward-thinking vision, realized that true economic resilience and global influence doesn't come from being a middleman in global trade, no matter how sophisticated, but from actually making the products that the world desperately needs. They understood that whoever controls manufacturing controls economic power in the 21st century. The numbers behind this transformation are absolutely staggering and will make your head spin. They're targeting to increase the industrial sector's contribution to GDP from 133 billion dirhams to a mind-bending 300 billion dirhams by 2031. Let me put that in perspective for you. That's not just growth, that's a complete economic metamorphosis. We're talking about more than doubling industrial output in just one decade. To give you context, that's equivalent to adding the entire industrial capacity of a medium-sized European country to the UAE's economy. This initiative isn't just some government wish list or political rhetoric. It's regulated and implemented by the Ministry of Industry and Advanced Technology, known as MIITE, which plays a central coordinating role across all government entities, private sector players, and international partners. They've created an entire governmental apparatus dedicated solely to making this industrial transformation a reality. Now fast forward to May 19th, 2025, and prepare to have your mind completely blown. The fourth edition of Make It in the Emirates wasn't just a trade show or networking event. It was a powerful statement to the entire world about the UAE's industrial ambitions and capabilities. Picture this scene: the ADNEX Center in Abu Dhabi transformed into a massive showcase of industrial might, with 122,000 visitors from around the globe, 720 institutions, both local and international, covering an enormous 68,000 square meters of pure industrial ambition and innovation. The theme was advanced industries, accelerated, and they definitely lived up to that promise. But here's where it gets absolutely insane. And this is where you need to pay close attention, because these numbers will change how you think about global manufacturing forever. In just 4 days, let me repeat that, 4 days, they announced new industrial projects worth over 11 billion dirhams. That's roughly $3 billion in new manufacturing investments in a single long weekend. Think about that for a second. Most developed countries struggle to attract a fraction of that manufacturing investment in an entire year, and the UAE pulled it off in less time than it takes most people to finish a work week. But the real magic wasn't just in the announcement, it was in the execution details. They signed 187 agreements and memorandums of understanding, but these weren't just ceremonial handshake deals for photo opportunities. We're talking about serious concrete offtake agreements worth 8 billion dirhams, meaning companies were literally committing to buy products that haven't even been manufactured yet. That's forward contract commitments that guarantee market demand before the first factory even breaks ground. And here's the financial engineering genius that most people completely missed. Local banks committed over 40 billion dirhams in financing over the next 5 years. They didn't just announce industrial projects, they literally created an entire financial ecosystem to support this industrial revolution. This includes the launch of the Emirates Growth Fund with 1 billion dirhams, specifically dedicated to supporting small and medium enterprises. They've essentially created a manufacturing economy with built-in financing, guaranteed demand, and government support, all working in perfect synchronization. The social impact is equally staggering and shows the depth of their planning. They created over 22,000 jobs specifically for UAE nationals just in 2024 alone. This isn't about importing cheap foreign labor. This is about creating high-skilled, high-paying careers for their own citizens. During the 2025 event, they held an industrial careers fair that directly placed 2,500 Emiratis in private sector roles. They have a program called Industrialists that specifically connects organizations with Emirati talent, and they're even including people with disabilities in specialized manufacturing roles, like producing hearing aids, showing that this industrial transformation is about social inclusion, not just economic growth. Now, let's dive deep into exactly what they're manufacturing, because this isn't about making cheap plastic toys or low-value consumer goods. The UAE is strategically targeting 12 sectors that represent the absolute future of global manufacturing and industrial innovation. First, advanced manufacturing and AI. They're not just adopting Industry 4.0 technologies, they're literally defining what the next generation of manufacturing looks like. We're talking about AI-enabled production lines that can adapt in real time to global demand fluctuations, predictive maintenance systems, and fully automated supply chain optimization. Pharmaceuticals and medical technology is another key focus, and the timing here is absolutely genius. Post-pandemic, every single country on Earth wants secure, resilient medical supply chains that can't be disrupted by global crises. The UAE is positioning itself as the pharmacy and medical device manufacturer for the Middle East, Africa, and beyond. They're building facilities that can produce everything from basic medications to advanced medical devices and diagnostic equipment. Hydrogen and clean energy represents perhaps their most forward-thinking bet. While the rest of the world is still arguing about carbon reduction targets and green energy policies, the UAE is building the actual infrastructure to produce clean energy at massive scale. They're developing hydrogen production capabilities that could make them a major exporter of clean energy to Europe and Asia, completely transforming their role from oil exporter to clean energy powerhouse. The aerospace, automotive, and defense sector is particularly strategic. Imagine being the primary manufacturing hub for the fastest-growing aviation market in the world. Dubai is already one of the world's major aviation hubs, and now they're building the manufacturing capabilities to produce aircraft components, maintenance equipment, and aerospace technology right where the demand is highest. But here's what really impressed me about their strategy. They're not ignoring traditional manufacturing sectors. Food, beverages, and agritech ensures food security and regional supply resilience. Construction and materials makes perfect sense given the ongoing development throughout the region. They're even focusing on handicrafts, preserving traditional manufacturing skills while scaling them with modern techniques. It's like they've systematically mapped out every possible manufacturing need and said, we'll make it all here, from the most advanced AI-powered systems to traditional crafts. The other sectors include chemicals, plastics, and sustainable materials, crucial for everything from packaging to advanced composites. Electrical and electronic equipment covers the backbone of modern technology infrastructure. Machinery and equipment ensures they can manufacture the tools that manufacture everything else. Maritime and marine manufacturing leverages their strategic coastal location. Metals and fabrication provides the raw materials and processing for all other manufacturing sectors. This isn't random diversification. This is systematic capture of entire industrial value chains. Now here's where this story becomes personally relevant to every entrepreneur, investor, and business person watching this video, regardless of where you are in the world. Make It in the Emirates isn't a local initiative designed to benefit only UAE companies. It's explicitly a global invitation to anyone with capital, expertise, or innovative ideas. Those 720 institutions I mentioned earlier, they came from everywhere. North America, Europe, Asia, South America, and yes, even Brazil. This is the UAE saying to the entire world, bring your ideas, your capital, your expertise, your technology, and let's build the future of manufacturing together. And they're not just asking nicely. They're offering incentives that would make any CFO's eyes light up and any business owner reconsider their current operations. We're talking about 100% foreign ownership. You don't need local partners or complicated ownership structures. Tax benefits that can dramatically improve your bottom line. Comprehensive intellectual property protection that gives you confidence your innovations won't be stolen. And get this, access to 138 double taxation treaties, which means you can operate from the UAE and optimize your global tax efficiency legally and transparently. But the real genius, the strategic masterstroke that most people completely miss, is geographic. The UAE sits at the absolute crossroads of Asia, Africa, and Europe. When you manufacture in the UAE, you can reach 5 billion people within just 4 hours of flight time. It's literally like having a manufacturing base positioned in the center of the global economy. Your products can reach major markets faster and more efficiently than from almost any other manufacturing location on Earth. The infrastructure advantages are mind-blowing when you really understand them. Dubai and Abu Dhabi have some of the world's most advanced ports, with direct shipping connections to every major market. The airports are among the world's busiest and most efficient, with cargo handling capabilities that can get your products to customers anywhere on the planet within hours. the telecommunications infrastructure is cutting edge, ensuring seamless digital connectivity for modern manufacturing operations. The power grid is reliable and increasingly clean, supporting energy-intensive manufacturing processes. They've been following Dubai's development for years, documenting everything from their architectural achievements to their technological innovations. But this industrial transformation is fundamentally different. This isn't about building the tallest building or creating the most luxurious hotel. This is about building an industrial ecosystem that could dominate global manufacturing for the next century. They're not just creating factories, they're creating an entire manufacturing civilization. The financial ecosystem they've built is particularly sophisticated. Beyond the 40 billion dirhams in bank financing, they've created specialized funding mechanisms for different types of industrial projects. The Emirates Growth Fund specifically targets small and medium enterprises, recognizing that industrial innovation often comes from smaller, more agile companies. They have export financing programs to help manufacturers reach global markets. They've established innovation funds for companies developing breakthrough manufacturing technologies. The logistics and supply chain infrastructure is equally impressive. They've created industrial-free zones with specialized facilities for different types of manufacturing. These aren't just warehouses. They're sophisticated manufacturing environments with shared services, specialized equipment, and collaborative research facilities. Companies can start manufacturing immediately without having to build infrastructure from scratch. But wait. Here's the mind-blowing reality that changes everything you think you know about the UAE and will completely shatter your preconceptions. Remember how everyone thinks the UAE is just an oil economy, floating on petroleum wealth and dependent on fossil fuel exports? Here's the truth that will destroy that misconception forever. Less than 5% of the UAE's GDP comes from oil and gas today. 5%. Let that sink in for a moment. That means 95% of their economy is already diversified across services, technology, tourism, trade, finance, and increasingly manufacturing. While other oil-rich nations are still having conferences and debates about economic diversification, publishing white papers and making promises, the UAE has already done it. They're not building an industrial economy from scratch as some desperate attempt to move away from oil. They're supercharging an already sophisticated, diversified economic machine that has proven it can thrive without fossil fuel dependence. This completely changes the risk profile for any investor or business considering the UAE as a manufacturing base. You're not betting on a country trying to figure out post-oil economics. You're partnering with an economy that has already successfully transitioned and is now optimizing for the next phase of global economic development. The social transformation accompanying this industrial revolution is equally remarkable and shows the sophisticated long-term thinking behind this initiative. The creation of over 22,000 jobs for UAE nationals in 2024 alone represents more than just employment. It's the development of an entire skilled workforce with advanced manufacturing capabilities. These aren't low-skilled assembly line jobs, but high-skilled positions in engineering, technology, management, and specialized manufacturing processes. The Industrialist program connects organizations with Emirati talent, but it goes beyond simple job placement. It includes comprehensive training programs, mentorship systems, and career development pathways that ensure UAE nationals can advance into leadership positions in these new industries. The inclusion of people with disabilities in specialized manufacturing roles, such as producing hearing aids, demonstrates a commitment to social inclusion that goes far beyond mere economic development. The In-Country Value Program, known as ICV, represents perhaps the most sophisticated aspect of this industrial strategy. In 2025, the program achieved procurements worth 168 billion dirhams, a significant increase from 143 billion dirhams the previous year. But here's what makes this genius. It's not just about spending money locally, it's about creating guaranteed demand for locally manufactured products. Government entities and major corporations commit to purchasing specific quantities of locally produced goods, which gives manufacturers predictable revenue streams and reduces investment risk. The ICV program has generated new agreements worth 3 billion dirhams, covering 4,800 products that can be manufactured locally. By the end of 2024, cumulative local spending through the program reached 347 billion dirhams. This isn't just procurement. It's the creation of an entire domestic market that supports and sustains the manufacturing ecosystem they're building. Companies know that if they set up manufacturing in the UAE, there's already a substantial, committed local market for their products. Among the notable participants in the 2025 event were some of the most significant players in the regional and global economy. International Holding Company, one of the largest and most diversified conglomerates in the region. First, Abu Dhabi Bank, which provides the financial backbone for much of this development. Sharjah Chamber of Commerce and Industry, showing that this isn't just about Dubai and Abu Dhabi, but about industrial development throughout the Emirates. Mubadala Investment Company, the UAE's strategic investment fund that has global reach and influence. Abu Dhabi Exports Office, which helps connect local manufacturers with global markets. KZ Group, which manages some of the most advanced industrial zones in the country. The participation of these major players isn't just symbolic. They're committing resources, expertise, and capital to make this industrial transformation successful. When ADNOC, the UAE's national oil company, announces contracts worth $147, 8 million for locally manufactured industrial products during the forum, it demonstrates how even traditional energy companies are supporting this manufacturing evolution. The international dimension cannot be overstated. While I haven't found specific details about Brazilian participation in the research, the global nature of this initiative means opportunities are explicitly available to companies and investors from Brazil and every other country. The UAE's strong relationship with Brazil, evidenced by direct Emirates flights connecting the two countries, suggests existing commercial ties that could easily extend into manufacturing partnerships. For Brazilian companies, the opportunities are particularly interesting. Brazil has strong manufacturing capabilities in sectors like aerospace, automotive, chemicals, and food processing, all of which align with the UAE's target industries. Brazilian expertise in renewable energy, particularly biofuels and hydroelectric power, could complement the UAE's clean energy manufacturing initiatives. The agricultural technology sector, where Brazil is a global leader, could find significant opportunities in the UAE's food, beverages, and agritech focus area. The strategic timing couldn't be better for international manufacturers. Global supply chains are still recovering from pandemic disruptions. Companies are looking to diversify manufacturing locations to reduce risk, and there's increasing demand for manufacturing closer to end markets rather than concentrated in single regions. The UAE offers the perfect solution: advanced infrastructure, strategic location, business-friendly environment, and now, comprehensive government support for manufacturing development. Looking ahead, the next Make It in the Emirates event is scheduled for May 5 to 7, 2026, and based on the trajectory from previous years, it's likely to be even larger and more significant than the 2025 edition. This represents a clear opportunity for anyone serious about understanding or participating in this industrial transformation to engage directly with the initiatives, meet key players, and explore specific opportunities. The future vision extends far beyond just the 2031 targets of the Operation 300BN initiative. The UAE is positioning itself for long-term dominance in global manufacturing by focusing on sustainability, innovation, and technological advancement. They're not just building factories, they're building the manufacturing infrastructure for the next century of global economic development. The sustainability aspect is particularly forward-thinking. As global consumers and governments increasingly demand environmentally responsible manufacturing, the UAE's focus on clean energy, sustainable materials, and efficient production processes positions them ahead of this trend rather than trying to catch up to it later. Their hydrogen and clean energy initiatives aren't just about local consumption. They're about becoming exporters of clean manufacturing capabilities to the rest of the world. The integration of AI and advanced technologies throughout their manufacturing sectors means they're not just competing on cost or location, but on capability and innovation. When global companies need the most advanced manufacturing processes, the most efficient production systems, or the most innovative solutions to complex manufacturing challenges, the UAE is positioning itself to be the obvious choice. Listen, whether you're an entrepreneur looking for your next big opportunity, an investor trying to identify the next major economic transformation, or just someone who understands that economic power shapes geopolitical influence and global prosperity, this story changes everything you thought you knew about the Middle East, about manufacturing, and about where the global economy is heading. The next industrial revolution isn't happening in the traditional manufacturing centers that dominated the 20th century. It's not happening in places that are trying to recover from old industrial decline or compete solely on low labor costs. It's happening right here in the UAE, a country that has systematically built every component necessary for manufacturing success. Infrastructure, financing, market access, skilled workforce, government support, and strategic location. And most people, including sophisticated investors and business leaders, are completely blind to the magnitude of what's being built. The next Make It in the Emirates event is May 5 to 7, 2026. Mark that date on your calendar because that's when the next wave of billion-dollar opportunities will be announced, when new partnerships will be formed, and when the global manufacturing landscape will take another major step toward this new reality. If you want to be ahead of this curve instead of trying to catch up later, that's where you need to be. If you want to stay ahead of these game-changing developments and discover opportunities like this before they become mainstream news that everyone is talking about, subscribe to Dubai Curious right now and hit that notification bell so you never miss these insights. Comment Emirates revealed below if you're ready to dive deeper into the stories that are literally reshaping the global economy, and let me know what other aspects of this industrial transformation you want me to investigate further. And if you think this story about the UAE's manufacturing revolution is impressive, wait until you see what we've uncovered about Dubai's secret space program and their ambitious plan to become the first commercial space hub in the Middle East. That investigation drops next week, and trust me, it will completely change how you think about the future of space commerce and which countries will dominate the next frontier of economic development. Thanks for watching Dubai Curious, where we uncover the extraordinary stories behind the Emirates that are shaping tomorrow's world. See you in the next one.